All right, hey guys, we're live. Thanks for watching the VOD. Hello, XV. How are you doing out there? Those of you watching this on YouTube, thanks a lot for that, as always. Thanks for all the comments. Try my best to get through and make sure they're all seen. Even the ones that aren't necessarily, nice or whatever, we take a look, we respond. It's very rare though that anybody's got anything negative to say, so excuse me, just finished dinner. A bit of a late one. Hey Tsunami-san, Lich, Nomely fans. If you guys see anything weird with the green screen today, just let me know. It needs some adjustment. Put up one of our garden neighbors gave me this massive world map that's really cool. It's like mounted and everything, so I've got that above my desk area. Took that opportunity to move the lights around and things, and so see how it holds up. Hey Sarenth, Chat Solo, Death Rider, Fielder, Yushoes, Dargith, Quixana. I'm just in time to distract you from writing your annual self-review. Man, I don't miss that stuff at all. Glad I could help. The tree has been around and seen some things. What's up, Justin Beard? Justin Beard says, I'm currently running my router off a battery backup. See how much juice I got, anticipating a storm tonight. Oh, right on. Yeah. You were saying earlier, Justin, that you've got some storms coming up. What's up, soldier? I don't think I missed anybody. Cool. Let me hop into Veil of Zentar really fast. Hey, foolish one. Congrats again. Congrats again on hopping in and playing with us last week, and thanks for doing that. Those of you that won the raffle. Like, what do we call it? Raffle? Ollie called it roulette. Load the sub scenes really quick. What's up, Swanee? Swanee said, currently 900-ish miles off the coast of Florida. Wild to be able to watch a stream from a big-ass boat. What kind of boat is it? Kuzuk Rogue, hello. Chat roulette's perfect? Okay. Then that's what we'll call it. What's up, Matthias? Huh. Alright. Bushman said, was a lot of fun. Was a great idea for involving community further than you already do. Hey, we appreciate it. Do I want to duo bit today? Do I got things to do? I can duo with you in a few minutes, or we can duo now, and then if you've got to log off, I can do some things. I was just gonna do a little set dressing in preparation of doing some quick population work in this area here. What level did you want to duo at, Ollie? What's up, Wallabies? Kenji. This area is a super secret cave that nobody but us knows about. Up here. And then it will lead to, you know, super secret other stuff later. But if you've been watching the world building channel, Ollie, then you would know. It's in relation to the stuff that it's marked on the map that Bill's doing right now. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Yeah. Hey, as long as none of you guys tell anybody, then it's a secret. What's up, Ninja? The big ass boat that Swanee is on is the Allure of the Seas, second largest cruise ship in the world. That sounds horrifying. Sounds horrific. It does not sound like anything I'd want to do. I only wish you the best in making it back to shore where you belong. What are those things you're discussing? Ollie, did you go to World Building channel? Have you not? Do you not click on all of the bolded channels to be nosy and see what people are doing? How can you live like that? Are you in shock? It's pretty cool, huh? Gigantic Lure of the Sea. That's funny. That's a funny take on the name. It's a lure for catching behemoth squids or something. Love all the nooks and crannies. Plenty of room for secrets. Yeah. We're trying to jam these zones full of nooks and crannies. Dargith volunteers to read all of the unread Slack channels and summarize them. Summarize them in memos, Ollie. You may one day that may be a job that gets posted. Oh man. Justin says, you guys reminded me that there was a giant boat owned by the Geffen family of Geffen Records and was so big that people would just come to see it and be impressed. Guess it was docked in Portland Harbor here for like 2 months. Oh, right on. Your little town is really pretty. I was looking at the postcards earlier today. They're up on the side of the fridge. Excuse me. All right, so first of all, let me see if anybody's got available since our checked out. I'm really bad about not calling my checkouts and check-ins. So, checking out the OZ. Hey, Angel. Hello, Talit. Let's go. Webs. Usually I'll pull a bunch of these in really quick. Before I make the mistake that I've been making lately, go ahead and I'm gonna make a new empty. You know what? Actually, yeah. Make a new empty right here. And of course it just yoinked me all the way over there. Hey, Crescents. I don't know if you guys have been here in a while. Went in and adjusted the props a little bit. Shrank down the rings, made sure that the trees were getting pulled in the right direction. Again, On streams like tonight, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the streams. There will be a little bit of spoilage, but I think it'll still be fine. Is water intentionally green? Yes, it is very intentionally green. It may be a different green, it may be a different shader or texture or whatever by the time we're done, but it is intentionally green. That's what happens when you let trolls go in the pool. Go in the pool. I get what you're saying. Go potty. All right, so we got this one. Oops, you know what I didn't do? Let's delete it. Let's go ahead, since we're working in here now, we've got that. We'll take this game. I just want to rename it. Why can't I click on you like everything else and rename you? All right, so this will be Spider Cave Webs. All right, so now you know, spoiler. And then what I'll do is I'll set this as the default parent so that all of my crap that I pull into the scene flies into there. And I'll zoom back over here. Hey, Tannhauser. Hey! Headache monkey check still hanging around, or is it finally kicked the rocks? Hey, on the headache, I didn't figure it out. Jasmine figured it out. We believe. I mean, it could always, correlation is not necessarily causation. It could have been that it went away on its own. But Jasmine, because I've been complaining about it for weeks, and she was like, hey, I was just, because Jasmine's one of the things she likes to nerd out to. She loves researching stuff. She's a dental surgeon, and so she's always been very interested in medicine, and so she goes deep in all sorts of, like, her books stacked up, you know, next to the bed and stuff are usually like on random medical stuff and hormones and this and that and the other thing. Anyways, long story short, she every morning she drinks a, like, I think it's like, you know, almost a liter. It's maybe 700 milliliters or something like that, thing of water with Himalayan salt and fresh lemon juice. Like, every morning she has this. And she was like, hey, I remember seeing this video where this guy was talking about a lot of headaches just stem from electrolyte imbalance. So she was like, want me to make a water for you in the morning? So, yeah, sure. All right. Because it's basically just Gatorade. And so she made me a bottle of water that morning. I drank it, then had my coffee. No headache. No more headaches. And it's been that way ever since. Every morning she brings me one of her waters that she makes along with hers. And done. So I think what was happening was I was getting headaches, and I was thinking that I needed more water. And I already drink a lot of water. I basically only drink water and coffee at this point. And so I think I was drinking too much water, further depleting the electrolytes. There we go. Foolish One says, I drink saltwater drinks. Got into them when I worked out in Texas heat. One a day makes me feel great. Yep. I used to drink a lot of pickle juice, but that was typically with whiskey. And I love pickle juice, though. So one would help with the headache, and the other one would, yeah. What's up, Simon? But yeah, no, I appreciate it. The headaches being gone is definitely a plus. Start a new water brand. We'll have to save it. We've got too much going on. Swanee said, we'll be on this thing until we get to your side of the Atlantic Ocean, Sean. Had some schnitzel last night. It was good. You're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do when we meet up, because I'm really bad at planning stuff, Swanee. We'll have to figure it out. Monsters and moisture. We should save that, Ali. I don't know if that's the best water brand. We can have our own brand of wet wipes. Solaru's caverns aren't filled with spiders, they're filled with spider-shaped mimics. That would be a twist. I cannot believe you're traveling the ocean with traveling the ocean on a ship like that. That's insane. Yeah, we're gonna start it. Let's tell them about your magic waters. Baloo said, or somebody said it. Who is saying? Nicodemus says, my wife has to have water with those liquid for packets every day. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, I just didn't think about the electrolyte part of it. Justin says, I used to have really bad headaches randomly. It turned out that I had untreated sleep apnea for like 10 years. Fortunately, I just finished with all my medical checkups yesterday. Just my sort of like biannual checkups on things. Everything so far so good. Everything's looking good. So hopefully I will continue to be available to work on the game. But like if something happened to me, the team will be fine. Don't you worry. Let me know if the music levels sound good. They should. They should be fine, but... I mean, it's a plane that shouldn't get thicker if I'm scaling it that way, but we'll see. Supposedly cucumbers and water is good for you. Dude, pickles. I love pickles so much. So I'm gonna have to remember to get some pickles. Brondo has electrolytes. It's good for plants. Sapporo! Hello. Germany does have some good pickles. Germans are into pickling things. Fairly certain the Germans that came over back in the day is where the pickles came from. Pickles are so good. Are you guys gonna call me out if this doesn't reach all the way over? Alright, I wonder what this looks like all scaled up like this. We'll hop in a little bit and see. Is it not connecting? Pickled artichoke hearts? Anything artichoke hearts is good. Will the web break away if you walk through it? Normally fans, we are not pushing those levels of sophistication, whatever that word is. You're getting crazy. And when you say stuff like that, it often makes Ollie's brain work, and then next thing you know, we've got spider webs that break when you walk through them. That's how features creep. Yum, my mill makes really good stuffed artichoke sometime. What's a mill? Mother-in-law? Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought you were missing an F. I don't know all the terminology. I can barely keep up. I never know any of the memes. Mother-in-law forever, exactly. Nothing weird. Just a mother-in-law forever. It's like a BFF. Maybe she's a MILF to someone out there. It's very possible. Put a spiderweb over a pitfall. That is a great idea. What other spiderwebs do we have? No, we've already seen that one. Ooh, little corner cobweb. What else we got? As you can tell, I am not the environment artist here. Is that the same one? Okay. Guess we could see up there. Do we have a 3-1 out? Let's pull a 3-1 out. I guess in theory I can make a palette. Alright, so 3-1 and 3-2 look kind of the same. Do they do different things? Yeah, they got different bends to them. Okay, I see what's going on now. Got a little drooper there. Little haunted house action. 4-1. 4-2. I think that's a different angle. 5-1. Oh yeah. All sorts of stretchy. Cool. I think 5-2 similar. Little angle. Okay, cool. Tsunami-san, now I wish there was a big pitfall in here to mask. That'd be really cool. Hey, what's up, Isan? Might look better with the lower alpha, maybe, but I'm gonna let that be an artist problem for when they come back in to polish stuff. And you'll have to see it in game. Right now, this is just, it's kind of rendering the way it's rendering, but when we look in game, we can make that determination. Floby. But if the artists come through here at some point and they're like, this isn't really cutting it, then they'll get on it. People like Simon. You can stretch it like cheese pizza. Yeah, you can definitely scale it. Can you put it at the bottom of a hole or something and it catches people? We can put volumes on these that make you slow down. Got those over in Sungreet Strand. If you mess around with that little spider camp over there, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but if you get in there, warning, if you run through webs, you get slowed down. And that's borrowed from the stuff that first put into, yeah, but if you're coming at it this angle, it doesn't look right. He put those in to the little crypt mini dungeon. Are we going to get slippery ice like Velks? Yep. Little quality of life thing. I don't know if you know, but you can use the small colored squares to move things along 2 axes. Yeah. I'm just, for this one, I'm just kind of like grabbing and twisting a little bit. Another thing, Goblin, if you haven't messed with it, is if you do shift control, it'll make the square gray. And it'll just move along the surface, which is great for pulling shit way across the scene. Somebody in chat taught me that one as well. Basically, everything I know about the editor I've learned from chat. What's up, Chex? Shift and control together. Dude, we're sharing. We're sharing with each other. Hey, Goblin, did you see my background? I'm loving, you know, I love the look of the new textures. You guys, we got to get them in game. Goblin, have you heard anything on that? Is that in motion? Because if not, I mean, we'll grab Bjorn and Ollie and we'll make it happen. It's all Zukin's fault. We can't pick on Zukin until he gets back from vacation. Then it can be his fault. Until then, blame Lich. Correct. It's been in motion. I think Pattis is on it. Just had some computer trouble till now. Sort of tackling tree production pipeline in the meantime. Okay. Yeah. I'm just really excited for us to hit that because it's such an open question. Justin said it's totally unrelated, but I spent an hour last night talking to an expert tree faller. Fell asleep after we got into a conversation about wood stoves. He fell asleep, so I assume it was online. Be like that poor guy is telling you awesome tree falling stories and just pass out on them. Excuse me, gosh. That's disgusting. You're an apprentice tree faller in Ashes of Creation. Is that what we're supposed to be calling them? I think we called them. We've got our tree cutting down skill called lumberjacking. You're a lumberjacker in our game. Ollie will say it's because English is a second language that we named it that, but I think it's because it sounds fun. Oh man. Tree slaying? Arborist? Tree feller is pretty cool. I'm a tree feller. What kind of feller are you? I'm a tree feller. I'm a tree feller, but my buddy here he's more of a grass man. Much less cool now? Why is it less cool? I've ruined it for you. I'm sorry. First time I've ever seen profession items have rarities. Like the thought of having rare, epic, and legendary oak logs was foreign to you. Oh no, it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to do it. Getting like interesting drops and rares and stuff from harvesting is fantastic. We were just talking about that like yesterday with our new trade skill dude. Is she making popcorn out there? Is that what's going on? That is a strange collection of sounds. It's got to be popcorn. That isn't aligned properly. Avery, what's going on? Have you all considered making trade skill items break so they have to be remade for the economy? Ali, have we considered that? I think I tossed it out as a how bad would this be question to Ali. And I don't think it made it didn't make the cut, but I asked as well, so don't feel bad, Tsunami-san. How's Unity 6 been treating you guys? So far not bad. A lot of the like editor hubbub and drama and all that shit is not it's not really affected us. I don't know. So maybe we're just lucky. It looked like Chip found something we were doing wrong with light probes in terms of like the number we were using or something. a little bit high, so that's probably going to provide a little bit of optimization within Night Harbor, but excuse me again. Moofree said, one of my friends pointed out that original EverQuest level editor was based on a PlayStation 1 Spawn games level system. I loaded up the game in the emulator, and the water flowing audio is about the same as EverQuest, only EverQuest is higher quality. Interesting. I could have sworn they had like a, you know, the environment guys were using, I thought it was like a homespun BSP based editor and then a little bit of Max, and then over time more and more Max. What's the team stance on items that end up being too overpowered, like Mana Stones or Circlet Shadows, removing them, nerfing them, but leaving pre-nerf versions? I forget where we landed on that, so I'll say my stance, and if it's wrong, then Ollie and Nick can correct me. I honestly don't think, I mean, shit happens. If it's something that where it's just a broke ass item, then, you know, naturally we just nerf it. But if it's something where it's, oh man, that's a bit OP, but it's not like ultra just destroying things, and we feel like it's worthy of maybe being a legacy item, and just I personally have found those to be fun, especially on like TLPs, especially with limited time. I know there's a lot of arguments that people make about like FOMO and, you know, unhealthy behaviors related to them and all that other stuff. But I mean, the reality is I tend to be a fan of, like, even if I don't get it, like if I'm not somebody that winds up getting the items, the fact that they exist is cool, you know what I mean? Just, it's kind of cool knowing that interesting, weird stuff like that is out there. So what our actual policy is going to be, I can't tell you at the moment 100% what we agreed on. We've definitely discussed it. We definitely have thoughts. I just don't know if the thoughts I just shared are the... like them to stay as long as it doesn't require content to be designed around it. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, if it's to the point where you're designing content around it, then it's probably, then it's a little... Oh, you're going to post on Reddit? Oh, no. Oh. Oh, no. People on Reddit are going to... Dude. We're in the honeymoon phase right now. People are being nice to us. We're going to get all of the shit that everybody else always gets. We're going to get it. People are going to call for us to be fired. People are going to talk about how dumb we are. So it's all good. I've basically worked in an industry for the bulk of my adult life that just deals with... I mean, it's always been this way. It's always been... I mean, guys, you've read Tiggle and Führer and all those guys, their old posts. It's always been harsh, but it pays the bills. Malkney, thank you for the follow. Is that... So it's QT Sky. Is it Quiet Sky? Thank you for the follow. Let me know how I'm supposed to say your name. Say my name, say my name. You'll shield us from the haters? Dude, you guys are going to be right in the mix. Lich, you're going to be everybody. you're gonna help us out with your incessant glazing videos? Now, at some point, you're gonna be like, you know what? I think there's more clicks to be had in yelling at these guys. What's up, OG Ponytail? I'm just doing this so that we've got at least a baseline in here before someone pro like Chinny or something like that comes in and sets it up all super nice. Need to be like Belluar for Eminem, Skeletal. Belluar, you consider his stuff's pretty nice, right? I tend to think like his videos tend to be pretty, like he tries to err on the side of being civil, like nice guy. You can be 50-50. Well, then that's fair, right? That's good. So far he's he's not aware of us, so we'll see. I'm just, you know, I'll be curious to see. I'll be curious to see how many of like the content dudes kind of get what we're doing. I mean, we know that some of them are aware of us now. Like we've made the cut. Narc included us in one of his videos, which ended up in Asmongold's hands. Asmon will be funny because he'll say that we look like dog shit, and we will finally be able to check that off of our development bingo card. We've been waiting forever. We've been waiting forever for it. Josh Strife Hayes has included us in his MMO tier list video, I believe. So he's seen us. Co-Carnage has seen us 3 times, and he's liked us once and not liked us twice. So we'll see how that goes, but he's on our list. Be curious to see how Lazy Peon covers the game. I'd be curious too. You never know. Like I've been surprised by some of his coverage in the past. I will say, I'm proud of Lazy Peon. I'm very proud of Lazy Peon. Since we started this project, Lazy Peon seems like he's really transformed himself. He's no longer Lazy Peon. He's like Muay Thai, kickboxing, Thailand Peon. He's more like been putting in the work Peon. Big damage Peon. There you go. So I'm proud of him for that. I first got back in shape when I was 32. I was really getting out of shape, and game development was taking its toll on me. And I went to go sign up for a boxing class, and I found out the night that we went in, I found out that it wasn't just boxing. The coach that was there that night was not the boxing coach. He was the Muay Thai coach. And so yeah, I wound up starting Muay Thai the next Monday, and that's what kind of kicked off my, because I had never really done martial arts before that. I'd had like one Krav Maga class in San Diego that the EverQuest producer took us to, which was hilarious. I forgot that Fister did Muay Thai. Not Muay Thai, Krav Maga. I forgot that's how... I remember doing Krav Maga for like one like whatever week, 4-week cycle or something, and I totally forgot. I remember I was there. I remember my ex was there, but I forgot that Robert Fister, the ginormous 6 foot, I don't know, 6'11", like 400-pound giant man, funniest dude ever. I know some of the other EQ devs are like, they got offended by his jokes or whatever, but I love the guy to death. Anyways, I forgot he was I forgot that he was there and that we were the reason why he was there. That's crazy. So that is so funny. I totally forgot that about that whole situation. Wow. Because he's so huge. Like, he's just a giant, one of the biggest people I've ever met. Awesome dude. Anyway, but yeah, so Muay Thai got me, from Muay Thai I went into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and then trained both from that point forward and loved it. Oh wait, you're right. Too Tired to Care said the Lazy Peon's take's gonna be in British accent. Oh my fucking god, you guys! I just died after I read the introduction to death penalties. Dude, watching him play Pantheon and die a couple times was actually pretty reassuring. I felt that Lazy Peon was pretty fair and did, like, I felt his run through of Pantheon was pretty good, right? Like, so I'll be very curious to see if he winds up playing our game, what he thinks. Even if he doesn't like it, if at any point you see this video, Lazy Peon, I'm proud of you. Dude, the part where he died. The part where he died and he said something about getting F'd in the A afterwards. That was such a funny part of the review. I hope if he plays our game that we F him even harder. I would hate to feel that Pantheon out F'd him. I hope we make it as intuitive as possible and he doesn't struggle with just like the vagueness of things or whatever, but then he gets in and he's just is astounded by the effing that occurs. So yeah, if I truly worried what you what people on Reddit were gonna say, I probably would never have started streaming. Because trust me, there's plenty of like not good looks that happen on these streams. That's not a good look. No offense to any of you people that say that, but man, that bugs me. I think I'm just old. I've finally hit like Clint Eastwood age or something where it's just like, what does that even mean? Not a good look. I don't... It's like, because to me it insinuates that the worst thing that could happen is that you do something that looks bad. It's like how a thing looks is more problematic. That's another one, dude. That's a problem. Who talks like that? I'm sorry, but that's a problem. I have a problem with that. All right, what are you going to do about it? That's problematic. Okay. Okie dokie. You reach your Clint Eastwood age, you're not even 40 yet. Yeah. It happens fast. Life comes at you fast. And next thing you know, you're old and yelling at. Thank you, Eminem, for carrying me to the last 600 hours of watch time to monetization. Oh, congrats. Enjoy your monetization. Now you owe us 10%. I want my $2. Did half of you just like quit watching just now when I was talking about the whole look thing? If you play your cards right, maybe Sean will spawn you some mobs on the sly. You know what? This is a development server, so I can actually do that. My vibes were off. Oh, shit. Shitbirds. Shitballs. I'm the one who knocks. Hello. That whole rant was not a good look, so they left. Well, I hope they left to go touch grass. Hey, Chinny. I was just saying that I'm going to put in some spider webs here. They're not going to look great, but then Chinny can come in and make it look better. Chinny's the prop master general. You could add a stalagmite pillar. Can I? I don't think... Oh, I can. They didn't glue this shit down. Artists didn't glue it down. I'm going to do it. We're moving some pillars. Thank you for the suggestion. Good job, Matrix Hunter. Chinny is the spooky interior decorator. It's true. Oh, man. We're out of control now. We've got pillars. I'm mainly, you know, so I'm doing this tonight. I'm not on the official art team, so I do not have authorization to do this even. But fortunately, we're not very official. Monsters and Memories is kind of pretty ad hoc. Gonna make this place look like a Spirit Halloween shop. We'll have to have spirit signs made up for any zones that are unused. You'll look at the outside of that dungeon and it'll just have like a big Spirit Halloween banner. So anyways, what I was saying was, what was I saying? Nothing really important or funny, to be honest. Oh, yeah. The whole set dressing thing here is just something I wanted to knock out really quick. It's pretty visual, so you guys can check it out. Is my face really orange because of the environment? Something, the settings here got jacked. As I was telling people earlier, I moved some stuff around and reorganized my office and stuff, so the green screen may pop weird. The lighting is a little different than normal. So let me know if anything looks funky. Zwicky, thank you for the follow. Do we have the tree in game yet? It's in the zone that it's going in, yes. But this is the actual in-game asset that this image is taken of. I believe the origin on this was Bjorn had built the original model for the zone that he's working on, Keeper's Bite. And then so it went from concept from Goblin to Bjorn blocking it out to somebody tweaking maybe Geo as Bjorn. I don't know if that's Goblin as well, to Goblin touching up the textures. So a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I decided I wanted to knock out this area real quick because I've been thinking about it in relation to another zone. And the what was I gonna say? Oh, and I needed something to hop in and be productive with pretty quickly. Just because I've spent pretty much all day just doing a lot of writing, just a lot of lore stuff and a lot of new zones related stuff, and we don't really want to show that here yet. So, but you'll wind up seeing them. You'll wind up seeing the stuff that we're working on. You spent most of the day at the clinic, and that doesn't sound fun. It's okay. It happens to us all. I had a men's health appointment yesterday. That went well. I made an inappropriate joke to the doctor. Have I seen the new client optimizations yet in Night Harbor? Do I need to get the latest build client to see it, Ollie? Oh, I will do that. Pololand, thank you for the follow. So did I, not today, but when I went to get a colonoscopy, yeah, that's no fun. I've had that. It's not the most it's not the most enjoyable. It's like, guys, you could I guess try to make this more enjoyable. Gus Nation says, world looks amazing. Can't wait to play hundreds of hours and more. I hope you do. We were just looking at the amount of time that you will be playing. We were looking at some calculations of that. Paulalon says, I heard some good things. Figured I'd check it out. Yeah, if you haven't done it already, I recommend sort of skipping around and checking out some of our VODs. Let's see, commands. So hop on to our YouTube channel if you haven't. You can see all sorts of stuff. Gameplay, group gameplay. Last Friday during the stream, we just set up a new thing where we can run a raffle, the chat roulette. We can run a raffle here in the stream, and then we had what, like 5-7 people from the stream hop in and test some stuff and play. It was mainly meant to just for people to come in and play with us, but it wound up being a testing session because we were crashing the zone that we were playing in. Every zone that we tried it, Ollie found the bug, but we were crashing stuff. So the stream helped us find some bugs. Bless y'all. Hey, Sparrow. Give me a couple more minutes, Ollie, and then I will. I guess I could probably patch in the background, huh? Dude, this tree gives me such like labyrinth era vibes. He's very much like, oh, guys. I still get sad every time I watch that. Every time I watch Labyrinth, I get a little sad that it ends. My mom took me to the theater to see that when I was a little kid. And, oh yeah, it is definitely like the Door Knockers. Don't be so hasty. Yeah. Dude, okay, Atreus, that part, that is too much. I have yet to be able to bring myself to watch that again. I've almost watched it again a couple times, but I can't do sad like that. It's rough, man. Like, oh man. I've been meaning to force myself to watch it though. Labyrinth is what got me to have a crush on Jennifer Connelly. Yes, 100%. I fell in love with her as a young man and then fell out of love with her upon watching Requiem for a Dream. But then I watched Labyrinth again and I fell in love with her again. Pluto said. Wasn't that the guy's name? In Labyrinth? Oh man, Labyrinth was so good though. As a little boy child, I cried at the end of Labyrinth when my mom was like trying to get me to leave the theater. Because I absolutely did not want to leave the Labyrinth. I just wanted to live in the Labyrinth. I don't know, maybe that's normal. Maybe all of you felt the same way. I 100% did not want to leave the Labyrinth. Like, I just wanted to live in the Labyrinth the rest of my life. My sister used to love Labyrinth when we were kids. I tease her about it now, and she says she just liked David Bowie's pants. Ultra pissed. I have a David Bowie story. My ex-wife's sister was a pretty well-known rock scene chick. Her sister was much older. Her dad, like, when we were in our 20s, her dad was 80 something. Like, so my ex's dad had her when he was, like in the 60s, I think, or late 50s. Anyways, one of her sisters was kind of a scene lady. And she wound up doing some interesting, cool stuff like later as well, as a byproduct of that. But one of the times when Bowie fled rehab, he spent a week with her on like hiding out on like I don't know where, like a boat or something. Anyways, the summary is ex-wife, sister, rock groupie, knew Bowie. In the biblical sense, I guess. Then one of my other ex-wives, her aunt was the 80s MTV VJ in England by the name of Katie Puckrick. That was her aunt. So 80s, I have weird links to 80s rock via my ex-wives, some of them. Web decorating, interesting. I am a web designer. You also went to what was going to be Megadeth's last concert, but they ended up continuing. I went to the same rehab as Dave Mustaine, but he wasn't there at the time. I think I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's Lahala. Lahala. It's the one in. It's the one in. What is that? What is that? Is it Kern County, Texas? It's past Fredericksburg in Texas. If you live in Austin. Wound up. It was a good spot. It was a good. Very, very thankful for decent rehab. Maybe you can make one web to cover the whole world and call it World Wide Web. Migs, I think you're onto something. Hey, Drag. Fredericksburg is a neat town. I've joked with Jasmine that we could always move to Fredericksburg and she could just continue to be German there and it would work. You're out past Hondo Way. Where's that? Justin Beard, do you still have plans to eventually move to a different continent? What's up, Chudster? Let's see. It is between San Antonio and Eagle Pass. Oh, interesting. I used to go to San Antonio when I was shooting photos of the local MMA fights. Legacy used to be out there a bunch. Did I ever click the button? I didn't click the freaking button. Not this time. Gave up on going to, or I gave going to Rwanda a serious look, actually. Yeah, I don't think that's the best move right now. I think they've got stuff going on. San Antonio is a lot of fun. Love the Riverwalk. I've only been there at nights, late at night on like Friday or Saturday. And I gotta admit to you, it felt a little where we were. You know where, do you know where Cowboys is in San Antonio? The big rodeo bar. It's like the size of a freaking. It's got 2 rodeos in it. Like full rodeos are in here, and that's not even the club side or whatever. Anyway, we used to go up there and watch, take photos of the MMA that was going on there, and afterwards, usually maybe watch some people ride around on bulls or whatever, and then head out of there and try not to get stabbed in the parking lot. So imagine this, only maybe it's a little bit darker in here, and I don't know. Does it seem good enough? Oh, I still gotta do the room at the end. I like to do just enough like artwork to make the artists unhappy with what I've done so that then they're like, oh, I'm gonna come in there and fix that shit. All right. Sean is a nuisance to the art team, confirmed. I'm fairly certain the art team will, yeah, they'll agree with you. Sean, you would know who this is. I found out that Chris Elliott from Cabin Boy and David Letterman live over here somewhere. Oh, both of those guys are fun guys. Yeah, your little town is really cool looking, man. Where did it go? We'll just put it here no matter what, I guess. Can we please get a fun guy tunic in game? There's already a little silly fun guy tunic reference in game. All right. So anybody do anything exceptionally cool over the weekend? I honestly, I don't remember. Oh, we got a 3D printer. That's what we did over the weekend. Jasmine got me a 3D printer as an early birthday present. And I knew as soon as we got it, she'd like fall in love and want to start making all sorts of shit. And sure enough, it's been running nonstop since we got it set up. I got a bamboo PS or P1S with the AMS setup because ultimately I don't care about the current drama about the whatever, the terms of service and the firmware and all that other shit. Whatever they're gonna do later, they can do it. And maybe by then I'll know enough about 3D printing that I'll get a different one if it turns out to be nefarious. But for now, we just wanted one that we could set up and actually have it work pretty right away. And that has been the case with this one. It just works. It just works. It's fantastic. How loud are 3D printers? Pretty loud. Avery said, my brother started a business using 3D printers to create ammo magazines for discontinued guns. That's brilliant. And that is a brilliant move. Oh, that reminds me. I need to print a new base plate for my little Airsoft 9mm. The magazine is not very durable. The truth about internet drama is the last 2 weeks, and then you got another one. Yeah. Yeah, Justin, there are some people that do some pretty amazing like 3D printed masks and stuff. So wife turntables on husband trying to husband buying the wife tools as a present. Jasmine, she loves making stuff, so I knew that she was gonna wind up. Like, we make all sorts of random stuff already. Like, we just got it and we're already making random shit. The first thing that we did was print, like, just, it's really silly, but a little clip for the booklet that came with it to put inside this plastic case that she had. Because dental implants have, like, these cool little plastic cases, and rather than throw them away, she'll bring some home. And so immediately just made a thing to make that work. But yeah. A 3D printed finger win. I'm gonna start playing with it soon. The only design that seems worthwhile is it's called the Nick finger, and I want to get V5 in and take a look at it. Where was I? Oh, trying to wrap this guy up. I swear it's getting darker in the zone, but it shouldn't. Oh, maybe it's because I'm... Yeah, it's because I'm, I think, within this volume. That actually works out well, though. That it's, that this is bleeding into here actually kind of works out. That's neat. What's the first 3D, M&M 3D model I would print? Oh, that's a good question. Ooh, yeah, I saved earlier, I'll save again. Thanks, Holly. That is a good question. What would I print? What would you guys print? My problem is there's just so much. Is there still phantom pain, or do you feel your body's used to it? Oh, there's absolutely phantom. I wouldn't call it pain. There's phantom sensation. I wouldn't necessarily call it pain, though. Overall, my surgeries last year, very, very fortunate. Neither one of them were really that painful. They didn't even... No, that's not true. They did give me pain medicine for the finger. I didn't need it until the second week. No, I would just take one in the morning. So, because I started working again, like pretty right away, and just all the movement on my other fingers while my hand was still taped up led to a little bit of pain, but it wasn't bad. But like I didn't need pain pills the whole first week after the amputation. I was actually shocked. Just needed ibuprofen, and that was enough to deal with the pain. I don't know if that's because it was a surgery and it wasn't like it just got like ripped off or anything, or if that's fairly normal or what. But I was happy about that. No one likes ouchies. So how many people in chat are just here because you heard about the lottery, the ability to hop in and potentially play with us? You can be honest. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Darius? Yep. Dadvik, thank you. Thank you for being honest. Sparrow's just here for the cookies. Hey, if you're just here because you want to be here, that's fine, but... You're just here for the leaks and the TIN? Is TIN like TMI? What's up, Pi? Here to win and then sell access on eBay. I had to explain to Jasmine. I had to explain RMT to Jasmine. She didn't believe me. I had to explain to her that back in the day, people would buy EQ tunes on eBay. But yeah, Pi, that's a good track. Yeah, for sure. Account selling and all that stuff still happens. More and better than ever, right? Foolish One says I follow because of previous streams. Just happened to catch some words in the 2 streams before I followed. Yeah, but was last week your first stream that you were in? Because it was like you followed and then you immediately won an opportunity to play. That was really good timing. Can we get a jumbo-sized web up in the cave? Sure. If it looks weird, we'll fix it. How jumbo is jumbo, though? I don't know at what point they start to break down visually. Hey, what's up, Wickasloth? It's been a while. What was my old schedule? I don't even remember, dude. It was pretty early, though. Any spiders in here? No, Frank. You've been watching a year? Wow. That's pretty wild. And then the day you decide you're finally going to follow, We take you to paradise. It couldn't have happened any better. You hit the follow button, the angels sang, and we opened up the gates of M&M to you. We let you in and clutched you against our wholesome bosoms. What is he talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Our bosom. Those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, that's game development jargon. That's a game development term. Probably you didn't hear that term on Mythic Quest, did you? Because we don't let all the secrets out. I'm not going to say that this is the best spider webbing that's ever been done, but it is definitely it is a spider webbing that has been done for now. Once we get the lighting in here and giant spiders are biting your face, you won't even think about it. I think I have my wife talked into playing this with me. Right on, Pi. That is nice. If there's anything else, if there are any reservations that we can help, if we can say anything to get her over the hump. You have at least 2 people you'll be bringing to this game with you? Right on, Foolish One. You guys, in all seriousness, like everybody's always asking, hey, what can I do to support the game? Continuing to just let people know and bring people to the community or bring people into the game when it goes live is massive. And you're like, oh, but that's not a monetary value. It's a huge monetary value. You know how much money, companies spend on trying to acquire players? It's huge. It's huge. It's a huge part of the whole thing. So you guys bringing your friends and giving us, like spreading good word of mouth and all that stuff about the game it's a massive thing for us, and we're very appreciative. Why is my watch yelling at me? Probably because it wants me to get up and move. Any word yet on controller support? Ali, what is the word on controller support? Like one day, will it be easier to play this game on a controller? I think is the question. You can't hear me. Yep, Ollie's got selective deafness. So unfortunately, that may be your answer for now. We'll keep an eye on it. There's got to be a way to provide a little bit of a easier way of mapping things or whatever. Ollie said I love the Steam Deck, so eventually, but not right now. Yeah. You guys, our main goal is to just launch and have it work and start getting you guys in. And then we're hoping, you know, to launch in as good a state as possible so that over time we have the ability to not just like try to catch up and not be completely like overwhelmed, but then eventually hit on some of these other things for you. Curious, will key mapping have large options? I always play with arrow keys on keyboard with left hand. Much easier for me. Yeah, that's one of those things where if it's not currently supported, I would imagine over time we'll support more and more different binds and stuff like that. That's the kind of quality of life stuff that's a little less controversial. And I would hope that we do more of that, like more customization of what's already there in that sense is always, I think, an easy win. What I may do is after I hit save here, I'll check, see where this is. Okay, it's good. I'm going to do a quick bio break. And then I'll hit save, do a bio break, which means I'll disappear for 2 minutes. I'll run back down and then I'll see if I can see what Ollie was talking about. I'll be right back. All right. Hit save. Cool. We have hit save. I'm gonna want to shut my machine, or want to shut my editor down before hopping into the client. So let me just really quick, let me hop in here and then I'll hop into the client. Oh, cool. There's some Evershade changes that have been pushed. Can maybe check out those changes later as well. It's funny, we have a screenshot channel in our Slack. And it's we should call it the like sunset channel. There are so many sunset images in our screenshot channel. We all do it, like all of us. There's always, we'll be somewhere and the sun will be like setting, and it's just it's hilarious. Eminem ASMR. I mean, it's just whenever we're in here working and the day-night cycle is going, it's hard not to be captivated. Oh, do you want to see something interesting and new that Chip's got? He just put in. Do you want to see it? ASMR would just be Sean eating some old MRE hardtack, some old sea rations. Oh man, I loved sea rations when my dad would bring them home. Oh, the little round chocolate pads. First, let me get into game. No, nothing. Oh. This is game development, folks. Adam Spam, thank you for the follow. The zone is not up. Oh, you now it better be up. It better be up now that I've tried to wake it up. Need a loading bar that you can line your mouse pointer up to see if it actually moves like the whole days of dial-up. Yeah, we've talked about having some sort of like a it's still alive indicator on there. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I took a brief nap today because it's a streaming day. Wednesday is a streaming day, but it is an off day workout wise. So the fact that I'm not working out today meant that I had, a 30 40-minute window that I could use in the betterment of my health. And a frickin' nap seemed like the betterment that I needed. Hello, game. Alright, so what I need to do is Sparrow said, I typically nap these days, but I am turning 50 in a week, so I'm allowed. I turn 50 in... One, 2, 3, 4, like 5 weeks. So I feel you. I hear you. So let me make this beast mine, this glorious beast. You're 57? Then you definitely need a nap. 60 in 5 weeks. Congrats. Nap for you as well. Alright, so this guy's my horse now. Graceful. Look at him. He's graceful. Oh, sun's coming up. Come on, horse. Let's look at the sunrise. I will... Alright. Look. He's my horse. See? I can give him like little horse commands and stuff. I think there should be a button to like minimize this window down to just that. That would be cool. So anyways, if I click on them, boom. All right, I'm on them. You guys, most of you have seen this already, but still. Sean, are you trying to LARP as Lady Godiva being naked on the horse and all? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I do. I need a warhound. All right. So I can also shift click and see my horse's info. And then got some bag slots for him here. But that's not the new part. You guys have already seen this, but some of you weren't here. He's graceful. I ride like a pro. Anybody that doesn't realize this game's in development, welcome. Okay. Let's go up here. All right. Dismounted. I have a horse. I'm going to put him in a stable. Now my horse is in the stable. Thought you were about to feed the horse? Not yet. Not yet. But now my horse is safe. I can go further explore. Will players get boats? Eventually we hope to, using a similar system. What's up, Chip? I was just showing off your stuff. I swear I got latest. If we expand off-road, can you have a star stable? Maybe. Yeah, my stats aren't showing, you're right. But I didn't even think about that. So let's run over to check on our spider webs. Is it just horses or other animals to tame, etc.? There will be other animals to tame. We'll work through the details on who can tame what, when, all of that stuff. That's still in progress. And there will be other mounts than just horses. And speaking of crazy animations, we do have a new animator on the team. So now we have 3 animators. We'll see. The zone's probably not up. So, you know what? It's probably going to boot me again, huh? But then as soon as we're done this, then I'll shut down. Let's see. Does it unload? Fallen Pass. I'm still in it. I'm zoning to Vale of Zentar, Ollie. Any thought given to race-specific mounts? I don't know if we're going to wind up being that restrictive, just because, I mean, that's pretty big budget. But there will be race-specific mounts that are available to. That's what I thought. It should let me zone next time. But like the idea of different races providing access to different mounts makes more sense in terms of reutilization, right? So like if a troll is riding an alligator, then that would put alligators in, and we would want to make it possible that other people could potentially ride an alligator as well. Right? Like as much as possible, we would like to keep certain things unique, but the reality is we're on a budget, guys. So we gotta try to get as much reuse out of shit as possible. But alligator would eat you. It's true. The game looks cool and all, but when are we getting sci-fi version? Played Wildstar and Anarchy Online before that, and I require sustenance. Higosaurus, if we can get enough of you playing this long enough, then we'll make you something that's got a sci-fi flavor. We already have it in mind. We already know what we want to make. We just need to actually make a company that can pay its own bills first. Justin asked, what are you guys thinking about eventually having race-specific armor? It's already going in, but it's similar to the other statement. It'll be race-specific armor that goes in that other races can wear as well, if that makes sense. Wondering if they're asking about races having mounts having race requirements. Yeah, there may be some mounts that like we probably aren't going to put like a giant warhound in for ogres, but it will be available for like gnomes and only gnomes. But it won't be race specific. It's just because gnomes are better and they're smaller. Sewer gnomes might be able to ride on it as well, but all right, so this, how about I just slash zone Vale of Zentar. Goblins throwing dynamite will suffice. Maybe you will need to be the proper faction before being able to purchase the race mounts. Yeah, stuff like that makes sense. Add a caveat to where other races have to grind. Yes, You guys, good call on all of that. Yeah. It was implied. Killed him. Oh man, I'm really going for it. This has been my work outfit for the last few weeks. It's funny, I was reading some thread on like the MMORPG subreddit the other day, and somebody was just talking about, God, I miss grinding in an old school manner. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I didn't want to shamelessly self promote. I wanted to see if anybody else mentioned us. Like, hello. I'm hitting it too late. Fuck. Shh. Ah! I'm trying to cheat and get up there. This angle will be the one. Yes. Oh no. Alright, I'm just cheating. I'm just cheating. Alf as not a command. You're right. What did Dragon say? Oh, I can't ban him for that. I mean, it is heresy and disgusting what he said, but I can't. Heck of a vertical on that gnome. He is the Jordan of gnomes. All right, I am thoroughly unimpressed with my webbing. Once we get light probes in here, it should be a little bit darker. That'll help. Time set. That's a little bit better. What are you doing in here? He followed me all this way? That was unexpected. Yeah. Chinny and crew will fix all of this. Why is that way? It probably needs to be rebaked or something. Do you all use volume boxes for all your lighting effects? We used to, but I think we're moving to light probes. Doesn't that replace the box volume stuff? And isn't that what I'm supposed to be looking at now? Cool. All right, this works well enough. This will be fine. I'm going to close my editor. I'm going to go into the client, and I'm going to go into Night Harbor as Ali requested. Only a short 1 hour ago. So let me close that. Just to give it a fair chance, because me streaming and running the editor and then running the game. It's been 84 years. Not taters. Where am I? I'm missing Molly. Believe bats NPCs are also in that area? Oh, I forgot about the bats. Maybe I'll push some of the webs back. That way they're not in too much conflict. Nicodemus, the map work going on has got me very excited for Deep Dunes. Ollie, do you think you'll be around to playtest like a little duo action on Friday? Solid 17% chance. Nice. Nice. What time is it in here? It is 11 a.m. Okay. Unlock my FPS? I don't think my FPS is locked. You're right. My FPS is locked. Holy shit. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, but I do have more RAM. I bought more RAM, remember? But I am hitting right there, but that's not really the problem spot. But like right there, it's like 70 plus. I downloaded more RAM, just like you guys told me. Look at that lighting there. Things feel a little bright. I know we're just starting the whole process and stuff, but I mean, it's weird. We'll get everything lined up. Like the sky seems dark for what it is, for whatever it is, for how bright things are. But like that lighting's looking neat. No indoor, outdoor action. But yeah, right now I have 80 frames. Looking this way, back to it dropped down to 69 for a minute. Just a minute. It's been mostly Chip's work. Darn it, Chip! Just when we think we can't love you anymore. 65 frames there. So everybody just go get more RAM. There you go. Also, good job, Chip. No, I've got a 2070 Super. Is High Point Terrace accessible now, or is Bjorn still working in that zone? I don't think it's like blocked off. It's there. It's just blocked off. So the little bit of hitching that we're seeing, is that just from like asset loading or something, like NPCs or something like that in the background, Ollie? Memory boost coming to merch stores soon. Monster memory boost. We can't say monster. It's got to be. It's got to be monsters and memory boost or something. That way we don't get attacked by the energy drink mafia. But speaking of memory boost, thanks for the reminder. I need to consume my creatine before bed. Not forget. Oh, look at that in there. Looking all dark. Cool. We got to yeah, we just got to start cleaning some stuff up and polish some stuff and adjusting the lighting and other stuff, but it's running. It's running insane right now. This is fantastic. Great job, Chip. This is a yeah, the orange sheen. But the performance is, that's a nice surprise. That's reassuring. Gnome Glow TM. Is that like Soul Glow? Black Bullet said, because of you, Omens of War was pinnacle of my addiction to MMOs. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, I was going through, we were trying to find something I was looking at. I think we were looking for like old server lists, and I found the sort of old breakdown of EverQuest updates. Yeah, the little notes in the person's record of the updates were complimentary. Because Gates was so poorly received, and then the notes stated that because Gates was so poorly received and it turned into such a hot topic, that's probably why Omens of War was considered one of the smoothest launches of a expansion. Though I think, honestly, Legacy of Akesha was by far our smoothest launch. We broke our concurrent record that night and didn't have to take the servers down for a week, which was a feat. But yeah, Omens of War went good. Good job, me and team. But yeah. And then I look back on it. It was meant that I didn't stay there, but my deal with them was I would come back and deliver that expansion as long as I didn't have to work on any more EQ stuff, and I could finally start a new game. So one of those things happened. I didn't work on any more EQ stuff after that, but I didn't get to start a new game until DC Universe Online. And man, what a nightmare. What was my favorite expansion I worked on? I will tell you my favorite expansion that I worked on personally was Shadows of Lucklin, because that was the first expansion that I worked on as an apprentice, and I hadn't gotten the job yet, and I was trying my hardest to get a spot on the team, and I just worked my ass off and had so much like fun, and it was wild and scary, and it was my first time working with the team, and it was just chaos, and it was insane expansion to work on because of just the way it went down, and man, it was magical. That was one of, you know, that's one of those top 10 magical times of my life. You know, and it was, I mean, it wound up being cool too. It was neat. It was, the magic was still there because I wasn't like a jaded game developer yet. And so it was like I was still enthralled by EverQuest as a player and still discovering aspects of the game as a player when I wasn't working, but then I was working and I was learning about game development and trying crazy new shit, right? Like, you know, stuff like the cursed fight in Shreza basement. That whole, like, the whole triggering mechanic and that whole fight and all that stuff, that was me as an apprentice, like, just learning the tools and being like, oh, can I do this? You know, I was like, hey, can we do a mass feign death? Like a AoE that hits everybody with a feign death and freaks them out. Wouldn't that be cool? And then it's like, yeah, sure enough. And then it's like, can we do mass charm? And it completely just broke the server. It was like, boom, as soon as it hit, because we had never charmed like 70 people at once before. And so it's shit like that. Yeah, working on Charval, implementing a lot of like the Vashir starting city and some of that, like a lot of that starter content was really cool. Working with Steve in Acrylia on the, you know, like just helping out, but he had implemented like the Acrylia Ring of Fire, which was just badass, and it was just like, oh man, it's so cool. Yeah, it was a very crazy time. Going home and just being like, oh my god, I think I'm actually going to get on the team. Oh, Omens of War, another thing I totally forgot. It was the last EQ thing I worked on, but after we shipped it, that was also, I think, the last fanfare I went to as well, and that was the fanfare in New Orleans. And it was on Halloween. New Orleans for Halloween with a nice brand new royalty check in my bank account. So much fun. So every time I got to my like quarterly profit share / we called it royalties, but it was like profit share from the company, I'd always write Smedley and Russ Shanks an email, just like thanking the shit out of them. Just like, dude, thank you so much for letting me be on the team and for hitting me up with his fat check. Yeah, once we get everything fixed, man, this is nice. It runs so much smoother. I'm at 90 frames right now, looking this way. So yeah, this is using the new, what does APV stand for? Something point volumes. Adaptive probe volumes. That's okay. So probes, robot. You want me to probe you, Ali? I got the 3D printer. It's about to make me a new pinky. I'd rather someone I trust probe me than rando doctor. That's fair. So I take that as a yes. Awesome. Ali, I'm your doctor now. I gotta fix the frickin'... There's something wacky going on with... You guys are gonna have to help me figure this out. I look all... odd. Edit filter. Is it a saturation problem? Now I look like a freaking ghoul. Hue shift? Most likely lighting from your monitors. Yeah. Green robot, please. There we go. Perfect. This is legit streamer action. Can do this for a living now. Put my cap on backwards like Poochie. Hey guys. I'd have to get loud and stuff. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm very yellow now. Damn it, Ollie. Why'd you have to point out the truth? And you can see the green screen now? Ollie. There's 1.69. I don't think that's true. The old jaundice. Speaking of, are you feeling better, Nick? Alright, then help me get the color balance right, Ollie. Mr. Professional. I'm glad, dude. That does not sound fun, Nick. That is, Jasmine's like, I'm so, we throw so much stuff away if it's been in the fridge or whatever. I just avoid. I'm like, she always makes fun of me. I'm like, listen, I don't like when my stomach doesn't feel good. Is this better, Ollie? Or do I still look yellow to you? It's just the screen. I look good, thank you. Say it one more time, Ollie. .69 is nice. Dude, the frame rate. Wait, did something change? Did something happen? I feel like the frame rate changed. But still, it's 70 there. .74. But we still have some like occlusion stuff to fix, right? Whoa, I just got slammed right there. Let me try something though. Chip is working on something that may or may not be good. What GPU am I running? 2070 Super. Let me... So definitely picked up frames though, right? Like usually when I'm streaming and running the game, it takes a pretty serious hit. So I've picked up, and you can definitely see it looking away from the problematic area. We have a problematic area that we need to work on, but like sitting at, you know, for me sitting at 70 frames while streaming is good. Probably rendering shadows inside buildings from the lighting that bleeds through. Matthias, were you the one mentioning that the other day as well? And I mean, Night Harbor is the big. It is the Night Harbor remains a great challenge case for us for everything. Like, it's just the most insane zone. Everything else runs and is going to run. Like right now, even right here, I've got 80 frames. $90 frames. It's just there's a little stinky spot. Occlusion culling should only render what is in line of sight, so probably not fully baked in yet. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been talking about, but there's been something hinky going on that front. Because I say that same thing a lot, and then the guys are like, tell me there's something going on that maybe Ollie could explain it. Have to run headless in tandem, see if you still get 80. Oh, no, I mean, I'll absolutely take a frame rate hit when we have a bunch of players running around. But this is still... Is Night Harbor the biggest city in any MMO? I wouldn't think so. So that's 60 plus 70. Did I tell you guys the story about Shadows of Luckman? Speaking of which, there was like a week and a half that you couldn't enter Charval. We couldn't figure it out. Like if you went into Charval, you got like one frame every 2 seconds. It just completely stopped working, and we'd been working it and it was fine. So currently like 75 frames there. And here's where it drops down a bit. So anyway, long story short, we finally get in, and they're just dismantling the zone. And they find that in one of the builds that happened, you know, like a week and a half prior, well, we turned off NPCs, turned them back on. We're looking at everything. They finally found a doorknob that had been added, and one of those sitting cushions that the Vashir sat on, the underside of a cushion. They both had like 2040 textures or something like that, like something insane for the time. It's like unheard of, and you know, multiple have been placed. It sort of propagated out, and it was basically just killing all of our machines. Senris, thank you for the follow. And yeah, and you know, like we were the pinnacle of professionalism back then. So of course people were like yelling and cursing the artists, and the artists were cursing back, and but that legit cost like a week of development time. I mean, we found other stuff to do, you know, there's so much to do, we could always find other stuff to do, but Charval sat there for a week. So there's something like, it's just like right around here, because like triangulating it, because when I was standing out there looking that way, no frame rate hit. What I hear is EQ could have had higher resolution textures. Playing for the future. It's this. It's this. It's the cobbler. I blame the cobbler. Or the stool. Could a stray light object be left out of bounds or something? I have no idea. I have to come back in here in the editor. But like, alright. Significant drop in frames right here. It improves right there. Check the underside of that stool. There is something going on with this stool. Are there tools to check what's happening with FPS? Yeah, the smart guys. Ollie and Chip and all those guys are real good about. Yeah, stool samples. It must be your awesome building. Dude, look, that is a significant frame rate hit right there. Boom, right back up, over 60, 65 right there. Boom, 46. 44, 67. Do you guys use RenderDoc to debug cases like this? I saw it has Unity integration. Ali, do we? And whatever it is, seems like it's being included right there. 70. 64. Oh. It's not the cobbler. Something over here, maybe? You know, it's in that direction. The water. Don't you blame our beautiful water. Don't you put that evil on the water, Ricky Bobby. Water's good. We're back up to 60. Alright. Looking this way, though. Shit, that was ginormous. I don't know. Is none of this stuff, like, occluding? $36. Ollie fix the orange sheen. Also, the brightness issue is fixed. Look at that, Ollie. 30 frames right there. 60. I have faith that the guys will figure it out, but maybe there's a buried 4K door. Could be. Send something in Slack, not sure if secret. Let me look. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. I don't think that's the culprit though. I don't think. Because I mean it's still kind of low here. Vizik 100, thank you for the follow. Well, yeah, that can be it because it's still not super high there. You haven't heard of this Claw faction yet? Are they new? Yes. Excuse me. Winter just makes you crave ice cream all day. Ollie, I made some no-bake peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Oat peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Week before last. And man. Talk about it because it hits that kind of cookie craving. Not very much sugar in it, but like an entire jar of peanut butter. And oh my gosh, you could only like I just turned it into cookie balls, and you could only eat a couple. And you'd eat like 2 or 3 of them. Just I would be bricked. Yeah, skeletal. Very, very dense. So if you have played the Rogue quest, you've been in these guys' hideout before, but it's been updated. Stab and Kumadar have updated it. There's some cool stuff going on. So Ollie, I think it's. I mean, there seems to be something going on. I don't want to go exploring too deep in here because I don't want to spoil anything, but it kind of feels like maybe they did a lot of prop work and stuff like that in there. How about now? Okay. I hit the... No? You still can't hear me? Jenna, thank you for that. Ollie was playing tricks on me. There's a delay. Oh. Yeah, it's a stream. That's right. We're right on. That's exciting. Running smoother. So is this is the only zone that's using the APVs though, right? I'm excited for the other zones to get it. What's needed for the other zones to... Do we just like run... Because it sounded like it was something you just like set the density and then run it, and then it generates the like the probe field or whatever, and it's all good to go. Lights need to be set up. Okay. How big of an undertaking is that? Chip made a tool to automate a lot of it. Nice. And then you said, so you said the build that's going right now fixes how bright stuff looks and the orange glow indoors. Was there anything else that you noticed, Ollie? Ollie said, be right back. Your talk of cookies is killing me. Gonna grab an Oreo or something. I gotta go buy groceries tomorrow anyways. I'm gonna make some more cookies. I don't think I'll be able to mail you them, but... Oh. Is it just me or does it look a lot nicer since the last playtest? Yeah, so... Dan? Since the last playtest, we've upgraded the Unity 6. That's been pretty smooth. We're using... What was the acronym again? It is... something probe volumes. What's the A again? Guys, remind me. Something... Adaptive probe volumes. That's right. So we're using... No. Yeah? Adaptive probe volumes? Was that correct? Anyways. So it's new lighting system. As you can tell, we've got a lot of stuff kind of in the works at the moment. It's like, you know, the capability exists. Look, Crest is being, you know, it's getting its light from somewhere weird. But essentially, it's just made it so that our lighting will look a lot better now. You see how it's dark in places and light outside and vice versa, right? So, so lighting is looking good. We just found a fix. Chip found a great optimization with the lighting as well. So that's nice. A lot of stuff looks a little hinky at the moment, right? So we're still using placeholder textures. We've got the new shader in place. It's got like ambient occlusion and all that stuff. So it's set up to work with the lighting. But we've got just everything still placeholder textures, but you can see what the lighting will do now. There's probably a lot of stuff that we need to fix with the lighting as well, right? Like you see how that may be, like, I don't believe that light should exist if the light's working properly, right? Because we've got this here, but it's doing weird shit there. So there's a bunch of stuff that we've still got to like clean up and get polished and make. There's a fake light under the arch is in it, but does that fake light also have a because we could fake the light under the arch, which would be fine, but we should take the flicker script off of it. But yeah, so generally speaking, we're getting all the pieces in place to be able to get it to look the way we want. It's just the pieces aren't all there yet. And then we'll continue to basically be playing with just setting everything, because we had everything kind of set up nice and working in as unified and sort of like holistically good looking way as possible in the old system. And now we've just got so much new stuff that shit's kind of, well, I wouldn't say broken, but it needs to be cleaned up again. And we've got to touch everything, right? So there'll be a little bit of playing with all sorts of stuff, right? Like messing around with skybox brightness, messing around with, you know, the moon brightness and how it applies to the world again, looking at general light levels, looking at areas like that where there's like weird polish things that need to be done, making sure everything's baked properly and including properly, and new textures are on. And yeah, so it'll come together really nice. Example of like the new textures. There's a good example of this on my desktop actually. Can I alt tab to desktop? I've never tried to minimize the game to desktop. Is there any way to minimize the game? That's options, graphics, full screen, boom, boom. Okay. Alt enter is in window M. All right, I've got to do that next time then. Alt enter to get it into window mode and then window M to minimize. So yeah, here's a prop in one of our new zones. Here's some little taste of some of the textures in the background, like new mountain texture. You'll see it soon. We're getting a first zone set up. We're gonna start in Shaded Dunes. That should be done like really soon. And yeah, so but once everything comes together, right? So imagine new textures with this lighting, everything polished. Pretty. Is this tree for the Wood Elf zone? It's for the zone next to the Wood Elf zone. I am sorry, Darius, but that is a no-go. No, Fallen Watch is dark now, and so this was that last bit of feedback, but I don't think it's been acted on, which is the sky's still a little too bright. Oh, well, actually, maybe that's been adjusted. It feels like it's closer, but it's bright enough now that that one moon's kind of getting lost. But yeah, Fallen Watch is not glowy enough. I had posted those like side-by-side comparisons. And then there's some stuff like here in the distance where it'd be nice to hit them with some ambient lights or whatever they're bringing up. Ollie said, I'm trying to fix that now. It's not just Fallen Watch. Okay. Cool. Poon said, maybe it was on my end last test. Lighting in glass flats was going wild. Kind of like that bright white that I experienced the other day. Oh, that was ghosts, I think. Yeah, there's ghosts over there and the shader was being crazy. Whoever asked earlier if we're going to have more playtests before next January, absolutely. Sorry about that, I didn't mean to ignore you. You're welcome, Wicca. Yeah, I personally I love the night sky. If you keep paying attention to it over the course of future streams and playtests, not anytime soon, but in coming months and future months, you may see additional details and stuff in there. But for now, it does the trick. There's a fair amount of lore dealing with sky, and celestial events and things like that. So it's important. But yeah, Wicca, we'd love to. We've got so much new stuff going on right now. Once that gets tightened up a little bit, it would be great to have another playtest. Keep watching the skies. Yes. I'm excited about I was thinking about these guys the other day. Just been thinking a lot about various racial lores and cities and characters and stuff. I'm excited to really convey the amount that dwarves are into like astronomy. I'm looking forward to getting the dwarves a big pointy astronomer hat. Not gastronomy. They like that too. The dwarves actually like anything that's finely crafted, but astronomy is definitely. Have there been any concepts for what Ether looks like from space, a global scale? I was thinking about that the other day as well. I'm not going to mention why. Um, it's weird. I was just sitting here like looking and listening to the crickets and the music, and I almost zoned out. I almost just went radio silent and like. Sometimes it's fun when you're working in here, just like take a little break and sit. I've got to say, Forgotten Realms was such a cool concept. I feel like I've seen that pick before. Is the Skybox placeholder or some random space pick? Chad Wellington, it should be familiar. The moons will over time be a bit different. Right, you can see it's the same image. We just have a quick placeholder. So the moons will be painted to look a little bit different than they currently are. There'll definitely be more features in the night sky than you currently see. Over time, you may notice different features in the night sky. That's something we'll be playing with, similar to how you see we've got different lunar cycles. Yeah, Ed Greenwood's definitely a brilliant guy. And it's cool he's still around. He's got a Patreon where you can follow him. Speaking of which, should actually do that. Yeah, so similar to how we manage the lunar cycle and the different moon phases and stuff, there'll be different celestial events and things that you notice. Is he still a librarian in Canada? I don't know. Important question. Why do all liches seek arcane power? If I had access to immortality, I would become the greatest martial artist in the world. Or troll the clerics and paladins by placing the phylactery in an easy to access place, but would make it nigh impossible to retrieve. I don't know. It's a fair question. It's kind of like, maybe it's just one of those weird number go bigger kind of thing. It's like, if you've already got $100 billion, why do you need 300 billion? Maybe liches are just kind of the billionaires of the magic world. So, yeah. But exciting. Good way to round out the night. But like I said, we're working on getting the new textures in. As you can see, we've got a lot of stuff in progress with regards to lighting. Those of you that were in here earlier, you saw the stable in action. Mounts and stables and stuff like that's going on. So that'll be around. We've got new stuff going on. If you haven't seen it since the last playtest, I mean, if you weren't in the previous playtests, but maybe in like an earlier one, and then you come into this next playtest, there's just so much new stuff for you to see. Haven't checked in a while. How many zones do you guys have functional in a functional state so far? Functional? 10? 12? Here. We've got, not counting the mini dungeons, Night Harbor, Sungreet Strand, Wormsbane, Shaded Dunes, Glass Flat, Fallen Pass, Vale of Zintar, Shallow Shoals. Feel like I'm missing something maybe, but not counting the mini dungeons. Then in progress, like we can run around in them, but they're kind of more just in progress or blocked out. The Evershade Wield to Wood Elf area, and the city that's being built into that. Perfect pinky one because it's in progress would be Keeper's Bite. Yeah, so I'd say like 9.5 zones at the moment. We've got Deep Dunes. We've got a fantastic map being drawn up right now for Deep Dunes, so we know where we're taking it. We just got to get on it. We've got Fallen Watch, which needs to be fleshed out as well. Where was the place with the big harbor and the pirate ship? That was Shallow Shoals here. See if the zone's up or if I get kicked back, but if I get kicked back, I should be able to. Disco Shades, did I already say thank you for the follow? Like 15 minutes ago? KB is Keeper's Bite. That is the zone between Vale of Zintar and Evershade. Nicodemus, I think, is who Yushu's was referencing. Loading times are very classic at the moment. Ollie, what's the biggest culprit on load times at the moment? It's server side. But if it was loading item data and such, then it should be pretty fast because Shao Shoals doesn't have anything in it. And is it only, as Nick was saying, is it just because the zone wasn't up before hopping into this time, or? Ah, okay. It's because the zones are unused. We're waking it up for the first time. Do you think I'm locked up? To me, this feels more like something just went bonkers. I usually have to enter twice for some reason, Simon said. Nick said same. Yeah, I feel like I've been running into that more lately as well. Ollie said we should be able to optimize this so it only takes a couple of seconds. Okay. Okay. Here we are. So this is Shallow Shoals. This is the one I think you guys were asking about. And it's off the coast of Vale of Zentar. What's the building way out there? That is the citadel that is floating off of above the Vale of Zentar. And that's Fallen Watch. So we were looking at it from the other direction earlier. Night Harbor is way over there. And so you'll take a ship from Night Harbor through here. So when you guys are designing zones, you connect everything like WoW does, but there are hard zone points. Yeah. We have a world map. So that's the green tower. Yeah, way right in front of me right now. That guy way out there is the green tower. So if I was taller, I'd be able to just run across this for a good ways, but I'm not. Do you guys plan on having ships and oceanic gameplay like naval combat, or is it not that kind of game? We'll have ships. We'll make no promises on oceanic combat anytime soon. In our perfect world where we've got the opportunity to just after we're in early access, continue to jam in some weird features. I wouldn't put it past us, but we got a lot of other stuff to do first. So this is your standard take a ship, go through, see a bunch of islands, hop off, get killed, take the ship again, try to recover your corpse kind of zone. And then there's a bunch of different islands with weird things going on that you can come check out. And some islands that you can visit that are like trade centers and stuff like that. And we've got one island. If you watch one of the recent VODs, a few VODs back, we show there's an island where it's been abandoned, but with player housing that's going in right now, you'll be able to, I think that might be it right over there. That might be it. You can lease houses on it, and basically the players can take over the island and kind of set it up. And by set it up, like do what you want with your structures that you're leasing. You can have a little shop or whatever you want. So, but we covered that pretty thoroughly in a recent VOD. I'm not gonna hit that again. Let's zone again. We'll see if I have to zone twice. Zone. See if it winds up freezing up. Nope, we're in here. Cool. It's raining. What time is it in here? Time 10 a.m. 10 a.m. It's definitely like it's got that rainy day feel then. Super overcast. It still feels very dark for 10 a.m. Interesting. Like I said, we'll have to. We're gonna run through and look at all the various settings. Time set. Still dark. Interesting. Well, that means something is off. Something's a bit weird. It's very dark in here now. And then the other zone we were talking about. You're curious if player housing is being worked on. I believe Ali is working on player housing nowish when he's not working on some of this other stuff. One of the islands haunted by a bunch of specters. Would it be too expected? Yeah, the god rays and stuff are usually a lot more visible. Something's just something weird is going on with the lighting. I know Brian's been in there making a bunch of adjustments, so it's feasible something got discombobulated. So basically, all of this started with the discussion in Night Harbor about the next playtest. All this is to say, excuse me, by the time we have our next playtest, which hopefully isn't too far off, there will be a bunch of new stuff for you to check out. I've got a feeling if this hasn't loaded up already, it's the same deal. Let's kill it. See if we can get it. And you should be able to run from Night Harbor all the way through all of the zones to get up to that Elven zone that we're just in, and vice versa. And depending on how long it takes us before the next playtest, I mean, at this point, I think because Nick got in like the vendors and stuff like that, you might be able to start as Wood Elves and be okay enough to get going. There we go. And this zone is very much in a blocked out gray box kind of state. We just use colors instead of just making everything gray. So again, placeholder textures, but a lot of stuff's in progress here. This is Keeper's Bite. Bight. What's beyond the forest? Beyond the forest to the north is more forest. And then beyond that is pull latest client. All right. If I can do it quickly, because then I gotta... I gotta go to bed. 14 consecutive zones of forest, correct. Where we're using... listen, we're spending good money on those trees. We're going to get all the use we can out of them. So it'll be the forest zone with a darker, scarier forest beyond it, going into snowy forest, and then snow. Snowy tundra. Any plans for a Kithakor style zone? What do you mean? Like one that changes into something spooky at night, or... What's up, Maze? Yeah, we've got day night mob differences right now. We do it pretty discreetly. I don't think we've got a whole... Well, I know we don't have a whole zone that changes, but our zones are also really big, so that'd be kind of crazy. But we've got different areas where different things happen at... there'll be, you know, certain mobs there. Like we've got a camp where it's researchers, and at night they get overrun by undead, Kithakor style. Except you actually see them kill the researchers and take over. So it's like undead and cultists. We've got different day-night spawns kind of all over the place. We've got some stuff that only spawns like when there's a dust storm. There'll be, you know, certain things that spawn only when there's certain weather conditions. So we've got that as an example in already. We've got some mobs that only show up at certain times of day. In one of the quests, you're told to go like speak with a lady. She only shows up at midnight. Oh yeah, we do have like were-rats. You know, the smugglers 1 minute, and then the sun goes out and they turn into were-rats. The camp come morning, did the researchers come and kill the undead? No, the undead just go away. The researchers are not that strong. Ishuatare, V-Gates. Alles gut? All right, I'm patching Ollie. What is it going to be something that affects everywhere, or should I just go back to Night Harbor? Lots of fun stuff. Seems pretty easy for you guys to do versus what they could do back in whatever engine EQ was. Yeah, I mean, it's just we just learned from them and made sure that we had that stuff built into how we set up the data from the onset. Will there be player features depending on sun, such as werewolf form that only works at night? I think we've already got an example hidden in the game of something like that. Nick put in something interesting. I mean, there's stuff. Without a doubt, like if you guys had full access to the game right now, you would quickly find most of the stuff for sure. But there's already weird stuff hidden in that only comes out rarely or it's very hard to find. So, oh yeah, we've got the devotion system, religion stuff should be online by the next play test since we've already got a good chunk of it in. Altars that you can find where eventually you pick your god when you're making your character creation. When you're going through character creation, you can pick your god or faith. Then you can renounce them once you're in game. You can find new faiths or gods that you want to follow in game, and then grind the faction to be able to work with those NPCs and or altars, and then you can start boosting your religion there. Oh, play. It's good. Is there a way to prevent data miners from converting the entire game into a wiki after launch? I mean, anybody that plays the game naturally will be able to get information, and that can be put on a wiki. We can't stop it, and honestly, we kind of dig it. It's neat. Now, will they be able to mine everything automatically? No, because that data lives on our servers. So you would have to play it to be able to get that information. They'll be able to mine. I'm sure they'll find some way to get access to like art assets and things like that. But like the data is not something that lives on the client. Sandy Pask says, so excited for this game. Hope everything is going as planned. So far so good. What did Ishiwatari say? Good, just got back from work. Hey, glad you're done for the day. Am I making it in? Maybe. Dude, seeing this illustration, thinking about the underdocks, and then thinking about the deep zones. Oh, I'm so excited for the deep zones. Must be hard not to get ahead of yourself as a dev. It's well, I mean, there's a certain amount of getting ahead of ourselves that has to happen, but one of the, I think, harder parts of game development is maintaining a certain degree of focus and like just getting things done. Have you considered an upside down deep zone? Like Australia? It's like the Australia of the deep. A Stranger Things reference. But even oh no, you're thinking like literal Lionel Richie. You're not thinking like the upside down, but you're right side up. You're thinking of like dancing on the ceiling. Inversely, it's got to be challenging keeping processes open enough to be able to implement new ideas in the future without having to disassemble everything. Yeah, it really just comes down to how you structure things from the onset. It's mostly easy for us, at least on the design side. It'll be especially easy for us over time to add stuff. All right, I think this is locked, so let me try to get in again. Like you literally walk on the roof of the Deep Gnome City, especially if you're not. We've joked. I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off or if we'll even try it, but we may do some weird stuff in the Deep Gnome City. Ice wall, please. If you go far enough in the ocean. How do you think an MMO can release interesting expansions for players, but at the same time not make the old world irrelevant to the point of having 90% of the world empty except the current expansion? Seems like a hard problem to solve. I think I'm not saying this to be flippant, and I don't know if it'll work, but what we're thinking of is just not making the world big in that way, right? So what typically happens, I just pulled latest. Let's see if I can get in or not. So rather than have a new expansion, go, hey, there's a new continent, and then put everything you need on that continent and make it so that it becomes the new hub. And pulling you over there and then not really providing any sort of reason for you to go back to the old world. We're looking at it more as we add zones over time, our world map works in a way where there's a lot of expansion, air quotes, expansion content that we could add that is within the existing world. So if you were to use something like, I don't want to confuse the fact, but all right, so with the expansions that I worked on when I was in EQ, I think the only one that kind of did this was Eldon. I understand that was instancing and stuff, but if you think about it, what we tried to do was like put those instances back in the old world. So like Takashi's was accessed, I forget if it was Oasis or Soul Row or what, but it was because it was, you know, where the Takashi's had been buried under the sands. We had one entrance that was like Deepest Guk, right? So it was an expansion on a beloved dungeon set. Miracle's Menagerie was in Everfrost, I think, right? So it was like rooting the content in the world. So we've always talked about, since like the first days of us, the first week of us talking about making the game, we were talking about the world as being a living onion. So it's a bunch of layers, and so there are already zones that we've thought about for expansions that you are walking past when you're in a playtest. And that's not to say that there won't be distant areas, and when we build out the entire continent by the time we hit 1.0, it's a pretty big surface space to be able to operate on. And so there's a lot of stuff literally under things. And that doesn't preclude us from taking you to strange places and different planes of existence and all of that, right? There's all of that. And then we're really, really invested in thinking of the cities as not starting cities, but instead cities. And again, there's areas around each of those cities that you may not see until much later, right? And so we've got a shitload of work ahead of us in just getting 1.0 out, but as you can tell by like the size of the first region that we have, that's just a region out of many. So once that's all pulled together, then again, we've got a lot of nooks and crannies. And it's also part of why we're doing the deep as, part of the continuity of the landmass. So we have our Underdark, right? We have the deep regions, which, we've got a giant connection map, and there are connections under the world just as much as there are connections above the world. And then within the deep, there are things even deeper, right? So, and you'll find other zones in there and other, dungeons and things like that. But, yeah, I think there's a minimum, maybe 2 or 3 immediate longer term dungeons that you guys are running past in every playtest. That's just in here, so that's part of the idea. It's cool to find a new continent. It's cool to go to an entirely new place, but I think that's a feeling that's completely doable, even within within the existing landmass, right? So, and that's the other thing. We I don't want to say this is 100% the forever philosophy, but we are more likely to provide you with that expansion content as part of your just $15 a month than not, right? We're not. One of the reasons why expansions tend to be so the way they are is oftentimes because it's hey, we've got to sell you a box, and so we need to put everything that's in the box over here so that it can be gated, because the people that didn't buy it, yeah, like Stiltfish just said, I feel like it's usually a result of trying to gate all new content of an expansion only to people who bought it, right? And if we provide you with most of the content as part of your $15 a month, then it has a reverse effect, right? So when you're selling expansions, one of the things that happens is, I'll minimize this for a moment, and then I'll try to get back in again. When you're selling expansions, one of the things that happens is you get the benefit from an expansion of a box sale, sure, but all right, there's some math to be done there, right? Because it's whatever the box sale price is, that's a nice chunk, I guess, if you got enough uptake of it, but it's rarely 100% uptake. So every time you put a new box out, you're segmenting your audience a bit, because there's going to be people that bought it and people that didn't buy it. All right, now if you've got good uptake, believe it or not, good uptake's probably going to be 60%, right? So you're almost bifurcating your audience in a pretty significant way right there. Each time a box comes out and your players don't have access to it, then it's a pretty big decision moment. Am I done? Right? Do I really? Or maybe I'll buy it later, or maybe not, or whatever. And so there are some negatives there. You're splitting up the player base. That may be their decision point to not move forward, especially if you've done a few of them, and there's other stuff out there or whatever. Especially if you're saying, hey, you need to front another 20 or 40 or whatever it is dollars to continue to basically have the experience. That's a pretty big jump for folks. All right, that's a decision point. The benefit is it's a PR opportunity. People that maybe haven't played in a while will go, oh shit, that looks cool. We're doing flying dragons now, blah, blah, blah. Maybe this is my opportunity to opt in, back in. But on the flip side, it's all right. So if we can provide that content to you as part of your $15 a month, then, I think there's a fair amount of goodwill that comes from that. Sure, you lose out on the income from the box price, but if that winds up becoming something where people are amped enough with the quality of the service, and we just build some brand loyalty based on the fact that we're giving you, hey, we're giving it to you, right? It's part of your $15 a month. Then maybe a number of you that might be like the type that might pause your subscription, cancel your subscription until something comes out. Well, even in that case, it's just $15 if you've canceled. It's just pay your $15 again, and then you're back in it, right? So it's a lower opt-in price, and it's a good reactivation mechanic. It's a good retention mechanic, right? If you guys think, hey, you know what, like I just finished up the other stuff, but I'm gonna, even if I'm not playing very much, I'm amped that you guys do it this way, so I'll leave my subscription running, Goodwill or whatever, right? So I think there's a lot of value personally in providing the content as part of the sub. It's just based on what I've seen in the past. Pneumatic Fury, thank you for the follow. And it just makes it easier. You just know everybody, as long as they're patched, they're up to date, they got everything, they can just hop back in, and you still get the PR moment, right? And I think in this day and age as well, with as much as, like somebody just said, Grisamo 5019 just said, people are tired of being nickel and dime. With the shadiness of shit, like the business models that are out there have gotten so, I don't want to use like a lame term. I understand them. I've worked on them, but it's so, it's so focused on like optimizing revenue. And it just, yeah, it really did. There's a lot of milking going on. And I wouldn't say, a lot of times it's not underhanded. I don't know that it's underhanded, Tsunami-san. I think a lot of times it's pretty overt, and it's in your face. But it's lame. It's just kind of meh. And so, Sandy Pask asks, aside from the submodel, do you plan on charging initial amount of money to buy the game? No, there's no box price. It's just come in, pay your first month sub, and get rolling. If you appreciate that about us, we'll have a really robust merch shop. Buy some merch. Buy some merch for the girlfriend, for the kids, whatever. And buy some merch. We might have a tip jar or something. And, if you like what we're doing, then keep your sub running. Guys, we don't have to like try to milk you for every fucking like little dollar here and there and all that other stuff. If we just have a decent number of you continue to pay your subscription for a year, cool, man. Like that's a lot of money to us. We've been really amped looking at the number of people that have bought Pantheon and tried it out, right? When we started this, we were saying, hey, if we have a few thousand people sub to the game, then that's more money than we have now. This is all coming out of pocket, right? So if we have a few thousand people subbing to the game, we'll keep grinding, and we'll try to earn more of your trust in business, and then we'll just try to grow it, right? They've got just over 100,000 people have bought it on Steam, if the Steam info is correct. You know what? If we have 25% of that play for a year, we're in good shape. If we have 50% of that pay for a year, like if we earn your business for a year, and that's the way we look at it. It's we earn your business. If we earn you coming back every month, you have faith in us, you like the shit that you see, you feel like we're keeping our promises, you feel like we're making progress. If we have 50% of that for a year, we're in good shape, and our guys can get paid. We can keep growing the game. We can keep doing cooler, crazier shit. And we'll just keep building out the world and all this stuff that we've talked about so far. Like, if you've been following the project, I hope you realize by now, it's not we haven't been making big crazy promises, right? Like we're not, oh, the game does everything and everybody's going to be happy or any of that. Like we tell you exactly what we're making, and we try to just focus on delivering it. So early access is going to be a big test for us. We've got a lot of stuff to get done. If we feel like we're not ready, then we'll push that date, but we'll just let you have more play tests. And then, but so far so good. And all right, so Zone Night Harbor. We probably have several subs to support. Appreciate it. I mean, honestly, they need today. We've been hyped to see Pantheon success. We think we have something that's a bit different. And so we don't feel like we're in a situation where it's like, oh no, we're all going to be fighting over the same market or whatever. But I do think if a number of you guys that have tried it out and enjoyed it, then we think you'll probably enjoy this as well. You get to play it in advance anyways. Yeah, we'll have merch. We've got so many fun ideas for merch. We'll start with print on demand because that'll allow us to get the most different stuff out reliably, quickly. But over time, we'd like to get more and more cool custom merch and stuff. But big fan of merch. Yeah, there'll be clothes and eventually cloth maps and art books and all that stuff. My horse is back. Wait, are you my horse? You're not my horse. I'm on Azalea X. You can't be my horse. Hey, thank you for the raid, Annoying Llama. The gnome body pillow will be sooner than the wood elf. Hey, Annoying Llama, we're playing around with some lighting stuff right now. What time is it? It still looks weird, Ollie. 12 p.m. So it's like all of this is bright, but the sky is not. It is 11 a.m. right now, Ollie. Llama said, also had some fun playing some Embers Adrift, and this game looks so good. I'm definitely going to dip my fingers in this. Nice. Hit us up whenever we have the next playtest. Hop in for sure. There's Ollie. Ollie with his skinny jeans on. Little wood elf. Hey, lady. I don't know what's going on over there, but I think she's drowning. Drowning? Let's just assume she's drowning. Did someone just buff me? Oh, wait. I just got the fair and fresh buff. What does it actually do? I just got buffed from swimming in the bathhouse. Is it really a charisma buff? Oh, it is a... Wow, that is a heck of a charisma buff. I've never even seen that. I love that there's stuff in here I haven't seen. What's up, Toots? I'm fresh and clean. No? Nothing? Okay. You should have to take your clothes off to get the buff. I think that's fair. We should be able to check for that. What's Ollie doing? But yeah, so by the time you get in for the next playtest, Llama and friends, we'll have figured out our lighting. We'll have our new textures in. These are all placeholder textures. We'll have a bunch of other work done. Sure, I've been asked this before. Why'd you leave the EQ team? So the first time I left the EQ team, it was not my choice. 3 of us got told on a Monday that we were now on the EQ team to help them get EQ2 out the door. So that was the design director, Rich Waters, me, I was the expansions lead, and the technical director, Scott Hartzman, all got told on like a Monday we are now part of the EQ2 team. We didn't have time to like hand over the reins to the existing team, blah blah blah. That's part of what made Gates of Discord a bit of a little mini disaster at the time. That was for large part kind of on the leadership for pulling us off right as an expansion was about to start. And then that turned into a shit show. And then Smed asked if I would come back for Omens of War. And because they were having the same issues going into Omens of War, they were like a month and a half, 2 months into production on Omens of War. It was supposed to be like a 6-month production cycle. And it was just not going to happen. And so Omens of War, Smed asked if I'd join the team again. And I said, I will join the team, but I really want to work on a new game. Because at the time I'd only ever worked on EverQuest. And I really wanted to make a new game. And so I was like, just once we're done with this expansion, I went off EQ. And at the time, I didn't really appreciate it as much as I do now, EQ and being on the team. So I just wanted to work on something new. I was only on EQ2 for like 2 weeks. Like they moved us over there, and I told them I just wasn't going to work on EQ2. I didn't like the tools very much. I didn't like the design direction very much, and it was very well established. And I was going from being the lead designer on expansions for, EQ, which was paying the bills and high profile for us at the time, at least. And then all of a sudden I was going to be just like a dude working on EQ2. I just didn't dig the idea. So I just told him I wasn't going to work on it to find something else for me. And then, yeah. So that's why I left EQ. Wonder if there's another building to look in. Performance is a lot better though. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, this looks... Look at what it's come to. I mean, yeah, that was very early in my career as well, right? I eventually worked on some other stuff. Worked on a really cool concept that didn't ship, and then I worked on DC Universe Online for 5 years on DC Universe. Would you make the same decision in retrospect? Like, would it have been enriching to be a contributor? Nah, I would absolutely make the same decision. I mean, I don't really think much about like doing things differently because I'd be really bummed if I wasn't where I was today. So I'm not a. There are very few things that I think about like, oh, I would, I would do this differently, but like only in the context of the only way I would do anything in my life differently is if I could still wind up in this exact same moment right now. Like I love my life. My day-to-day life outside of work is fantastic. Love my wife, love my dog. This place we live is like, it's good enough in terms of city and all that stuff. Mainly focused on work. Love the project. Love the team. So I wouldn't want anything to change. And in terms of like work or whatever, I don't know, man. Like that's a hard one. I don't know that I'd want anything to change work-wise. I had to mature a ton. Love my wife, love my dog sounds like start of a country song. That's why country music's good. So like I think I talked about this before, not to sound crass or whatever. I don't think I'd change most things. I mean, DC Universe Online was a really, really, really tough project. For me, it ended in shipping a game that I think was underrated, but I'm amped that it's still played. It's on the PS5 now. So I'm proud of the stuff that we did for DC Universe. It was a hard project. It was bad for my health. Led to a divorce that probably would have happened anyway. And all sorts of shit. It was just tough, but I wouldn't change it. Hey, thanks. Yeah, it was a fun one. Like DC Universe was one of those projects where at least I got to be on the team as like the first. It was like 5 or 6 of us, and we did some cool shit. We did some even more innovative stuff with that game that just we didn't ship it. It was a little too crazy, so we pulled it back out. But they're cool ideas that maybe we could use again in the future. But yeah, so I wouldn't change anything. To be crass or whatever, I wouldn't change any work, whatever. I would probably. There have been a couple times between divorces where I'd probably date less and drink less, but that's about it. Only one of the few things that I have on my list of like regrets that I would change if I could like keep everything still arriving at the same point but change it. I think both times I got divorced and started dating again, I also had my dog Ziggy. He pops up whenever there's a raid. Ziggy's picture pops up. The dog that you see in the gods selection picture, that's Rune, my new little puppy. But my old dog Ziggy. The only thing I think back is like, I would have, if I could go back, I would not go out drinking and not go out whoring around and spend the time with my dog. He died when he was 9 years old, and I'm like, man. That was a big bummer. So like I think I would trade all of the dating with the exception of my current wife for like just spending more time with my dog and maybe playing with him and reading more, playing more video games, I guess. Look back, it was like it's fun and all, but not that fun, not worth it. So that's it. I would date my dog Dargith, exactly. He's a better date. Ziggy was rad. So that's it. But I wouldn't change anything about my career. Can you talk about what spellcrafting will do in game? Also, I feel you. I'd give up a lot to hold my last cat scout again. It's crazy, right? Animals. The famimals. Spellcrafting, that's something we're gonna work through. I don't think you'd be shocked necessarily probably in the direction that it goes. It's the way I pictured it, but it's something that like really Nick, Ollie, and I and the new trade skill dude need to sit down and talk through. But it's just like taking that old concept of like EQ research and really making it she's getting busy. There's a lot of breakdancing going on at the moment in this build. But yeah, something that basically takes like the old research concept and makes it a little bit more interesting. She's throwing it back. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I had heard the term throwing it back until I watched that weird I love it, that video with the alien. You know the one I'm talking about? I think it's called like some like da da da. Yeah, you know? I honestly enjoy that song. I'm not even joking. But yeah. I was hoping spellcrafting would be an augmentation system for spells. Well, I mean, if you feel strongly enough about it, keep mentioning it in Discord so we don't miss it. We've talked a little bit in the past about reagents, more robust use of reagents as a way of augmenting spells. Look at your horse. Horse is amazing. And give it a lick. / lick the horse. What? Ah, the shadows are coming along though. Does this game have llamas? Not yet. Embers Adrift reagent system was simple but fun and effective, I thought. I forget with Embers that was a boost as well, wasn't it? It's been a while since I played. Nicodemus said first marriage is kind of a starter marriage. You go in with all these preconceived notions of what marriage is like. No, my first marriage was an army marriage that lasted a year, and that was your standard young dude in the army mistake. So I'd say my first 3 marriages were starter marriages. Embers, you had reagent slots you'd equipped in, and they'd auto consume. No, Miss Jody would have been back home. This was one of those like strip club right outside of basic training type relationships. They'd auto consume when using a matching ability to give a boost. Yeah, so something like that with more interesting varied reagents seems like it'd be pretty cool. Don't know if we're going to do it. It's really a discussion to be had with Nick. All right, dude. Oh shit, it's almost midnight. I'm an hour over. I've got to run. I'm going to wake up. Speaking of marriage, my wife's going to be up in 5.5 hours waking me up. Who are we going to raid? Is Zach doing some art? Let me look. Nope. I don't see any of my my usual guys on. tell you what, I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys, and then we'll do a quick raid if you stick around. How about that? So I'm gonna say goodnight. That's the only problem with raiding is I wind up, you know, not being able to say goodnight to everybody. So we'll do a quick goodnight. I'll see how many of you I can cover, and then we'll raid. All right, so Scruffy Bard, Viro, see you. Foolish One, see you, buddy. Enoch. Excuse me. Later, Lich. Guten Nacht, one who knocks. Later, Skeletal. Kuzo, you're very welcome. Dragon, enjoy work, buddy. G Willikers, Nomly fans. See ya. Team Vosh, see you. Morak, Kenji, Bill, Night Nick, Jester 1305. Have a good one. Tsunami-san. Oh, somebody running by there. Justin Beard, yep, I'll be here Friday, buddy. Deldrin, MMO Pug, Maze, see ya. Good night, Maze. I don't believe so, Gamer Word. Chad Wellington, I'm in Germany. All right, I tell you what, I'm gonna take your suggestion on the raid. Silent Atlas, see ya. You're very welcome. Cool. Let's raid. Since Wicca was nice enough to pop in and say hi to us, let's go ahead and do it. You are. See you, Landon. I'm raiding right now, buddy. Sorry about that. All right, we're raiding. See everybody on Friday.
Roguish leather steps to the bank cave. Yeah, you can come take a look, Saki. I got a bunch of shit in here. Oh, robot! Stand this place up! Give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah! Y'all wanna burn this place down? Hell yeah! Hi, Sean! Hi, everybody. Welcome in, friends. Holy shit. Sean, how was the rest of your stream, brother? I was having so much fun. We were watching you for a while, man. We were watching you showing off.